Everyone, my name is Nick. I'm going to be talking about global warming. So, California is in its worst drought in state history. According to the causes of climate change, Earth's average temperature has increased 1.5 degrees Fahrenheit over the past century and is expected to increase over 2 degrees Fahrenheit over the next 100 years. So, global warming is now affecting our home more than ever, and it's not decreasing; it's increasing with each single year. So, this is becoming greater than a national dilemma. It's on a global scale now, plaguing Earth, and we need to address this issue as soon as we possibly can as a group to try to reduce emissions globally. So, so people should why should people be deprived of what we take for granted every day, and that is clean air? So each year it's getting worse. Global warming is. So why neglect our people younger than us for future generations? So I don't know if any of you have addressed this topic, but I have, and I'm here to tell you that if we don't address this topic soon, that we could become have negative effects within the next couple of years. So the lasting negative effects of global warming is growing by the year. So we need to stop carbon dioxide emissions, excess burning of fossil fuels, and use sustainable methods where we can to try to improve uh, and reduce carbon dioxide emissions. So that leads me to my first topic, which is CO2 emissions. The greenhouse effect is a natural, needed phenomenon, but it started to become a problem when too much CO2 was released into the atmosphere, according to the causes of global warming. And so that just means everyone here can do something to try to reduce as much as you can. So electricity is the main source of CO2 emissions in the U.S. Uh, and this is caused mainly by coal-fired power plants. So we can use alternative method to coal for power plants to try to use electricity for our homes or school or wherever it may be. And also, transportation is the main source of global warming around the world. So, using your car less would help reduce CO2 emissions with that rising temperatures uh, each year. So, you can carpool, you can public transit, or you can use self-powered vehicles to help get you where you need to be. But try to use cars and use more efficient ways of getting to where you need to go. Airplanes and ships reach untouched places in the atmosphere that also affect the air negatively. So we could just create better ways of travel by using less routes or bigger trips or more efficient vessels to get to where we need to go. So this leads me to my second point. Air is not the only part of the atmosphere uh, being negatively affected, as land and water are being affected due to the exceeding air pollution, according to Buzzle. So my second topic is the excess burning of fossil fuels, which are coal, oil, and natural gas. These are non-renewable resources that account for 85% of gas consumption in the U.S., according to the Union of Concerned Scientists. So coal is mainly used to heat to power steam engines. Oil is mainly used for fuel to power gas cars. Natural gas is used to heat for people's homes and school. So if we could reduce each of these sources, it would greatly reduce the fossil fuel emissions. Uh, so trains uh, should never use coal to travel because we've reached such advances in technology that we don't need to use coal for trains. Japan is using wind and solar power to power all their most of their transportation across Japan. So if the U.S. could just mock or imitate what other countries are doing for green emissions, then we would be on the right path. So this leads me to my third point, which is now that you know the causes of global warming, now I can lead ways to limit the resources that we do have. So my third topic is sustainable methods. Manage your use. Use greener ways of lighting and heating for your home. Use more efficient transportation, and this is all ways that nutrient pollution has stated for better ways of reducing emissions globally. So on a global scale, we can reduce emissions for the future with the thought of change to helping become more efficient in the future than we are now. So the U.S. is the main country that sets examples for around the world. So if the U.S. creates better sustainable methods, then that will help other countries as well. So each person individually can help uh, reduce these emissions. We can turn off the lights, like in this classroom. We don't need to use electricity. We can use lighting like this. So natural lighting through the windows or anything of that nature. So solar, wind, and water can be great green efficient alternatives to uh, reduce emissions globally on a scale. So that leads me to my conclusion. Scheftel and his colleagues established that within 9 of the 10 highest average temperature years happen within the past 20 years. So heat is inevitable and it's not slowing but getting worse. We need to address these rising CO2 emissions caused by the excess burning of fossil fuels, which will lead to new sustainable methods for the future. So now you know the causes and ways to help. Now you can go out and help California with its great drought dilemma that we're dealing with and wildfires. So this is affecting our home firsthand. So what other planet can you go on and live a normal life? Earth is the only one, so why not take care of the planet that's taking care of you? All right, thank you.